Welcome to Home Team Advantage. I'm Gary Gimbetti along with Mike Egan, and we have a lot to discuss.
Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of home team stuff to talk about.
That's true. And we may as well just run through that. The Legion was in the Sub-State 10, District 8 Legion playoffs last week. They did win their first game over Lakeview, but then, of course, they played Grand Rapids and ended up getting beat like 6-2 or something. I can't remember exactly, which dropped them down into the elimination bracket, and then they ended up beating Thunder Bay, I believe, and they had to wait to see it. This is really weird. There's only 7 teams in their district, so it's a really weird format. But they beat Thunder Bay. Well, then they had to wait and to see who. I'm trying to think if they played somebody else too, but Lakeview had already had the one loss. After Rapids beat us, they were 2-0 or 3-0 or whatever they were. They were still undefeated, and then Rapids had to play Lakeview even though they had one loss, and then so Lakeview ended up beating them.
Oh.
Yeah, 11-3, I think.
Wow.
So then Lakeview, but being that Grand Rapids was the only undefeated team up to that point, they got automatic bid into the finals. But I don't know how that works. But they had one loss, and then Lakeview came down and Hibbing destroyed Lakeview 11-3, I believe, on Sunday. This was on Sunday afternoon, Sunday at 1, and then right after that they played the championship game, so they only had to play one game because both teams had a loss. And Rapids ended up winning 8-3. Both teams, I mean, it was, what the weather was like Sunday, and Hibbing had to play that one game already, so I'm sure those guys were a bit drained from that, but at least they hit the ball better, because in that Rapids game the first Rapids game they got no hit.
So Rapids goes to state again.
So they're going to state.
And they won last year, correct?
I don't know. They could have. I suppose their VFW team's going to state, and now their Legion team's going to state. If there's ever any reason to build a new field house in here to get some hitting cages in it, I think this is, but then nobody cares. Evidently nobody cares around this town. I'm sorry. Because I'm sure those Rapids kids are doing some hitting somewhere.
But on the other hand, one of Hibbing's problems is getting enough kids to play. I mean, they've got some playing both, correct?
No, they only had
Okay.
they only had one kid that played VFW and Legion. Yes, no, they had enough players. That's not the issue. The issue, their bats went silent, and that obviously in that
First game.
We must have got beat 6-0 or something in that first game, because they did get no hit by Caleb Gunderson.
Okay.
And I was there for that one. I had to see that, unfortunately.
And just to clarify, some of us do care. We just don't have the monetary backing to do
I
it.
know I'm being a little harsh. I get it. But we need.
I agree with you.
We need a facility. These kids have to be able to go and hit. And I just don't know what the separator is between Rapids hitting the ball and Hibbing hitting the ball.
It's kind of like, when you go to Florida, every other block there's, how they have those storage facilities, and they're the big ones. And every one of those has an athletic company, or whatever you want to call it. And they're training kids for baseball, tennis. And each one of these bays are a different sport. It's just unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was going to say the Thunder Bay game, they get no hit, then they go into the Thunder Bay game and they only have one hit through 4 or 5 innings of that Thunder Bay game, and the Thunder Bay pitcher, average at best. We just didn't hit anything. The Grand Rapids game, we didn't hit anything with authority.
Right.
Everything was a weak ground ball to the infield. And Gunderson's a good pitcher, but I didn't think he was that dominant. I mean, he struck out 7, yes, but he wasn't over. I didn't think he was, but I'm not at the plate, okay? So once again, I'm sitting in the press box where it's everything's
A little slower.
a little slower
Yep.
up there. So, but then in the Thunder Bay game, they only had the one hit through 4 or 5 innings. They were trailing 4-0 at one point, and then they finally scored, got some hits and scored 2 runs, and then they finally really did put an inning together to get 3 runs, and so they're leading 5-4 going into the top of the 7th, and they give up 1 run, so now they're going extra innings, and the game ended up going 12.
Oh, wow.
And they finally in the bottom of the 12th inning got the winning run across the plate. We thought we had it like in the 10th or 9th. We thought they had a wild pitch with the guy. The batter was squared around the bunt with the runner on third. The runner on third took off. The pitch was high and inside, and it looked like, and it went to the backstop, so it looked like the game was over. But then the umpire said it hit our bat,
Oh, jeez.
so it was obviously foul ball.
Yeah.
So the runner had to go back, and then we couldn't get the run in. We had other chances in extra innings too, to first and second no out in one of the extra innings, and asked to bunt. And can you think you might be able to guess what happened?
Popped it up.
Popped it up, runner on second took off,
And
didn't wait to
thrown
see if it
out.
was down, double
Yep.
play. And then they got on, Thunder Bay got on, Thunder Bay also had opportunities, and Hibbing's defense and pitching did a good job
Yeah.
of keeping the game tied. So, but it was a fun game. I mean, it was kind of tense there, but it was a fun game to watch. So then they ended up waiting to see where they were going to play, and then Lakeview, they played Lakeview, and they hit the ball well in that game. I think had 15 hits in that game. And then they got Rapids again, and they only had maybe 5 or 6 or 7 hits. Rapids had Gunderson hit a 2-run homer in the first inning.
Oh,
There was 2 out, guy on whatever second or whatever, and it looked like they were going to get out of the inning, and he hits a 2-run shot. And we just don't have that capability.
yeah. Oh,
No,
not a good year, though.
Yeah, no, it was a great summer. Gunderson, though, plays for the minors. He comes over here.
Yeah.
Some Grand Rapids guys come over here and play. He played, evidently they had a game Wednesday here against Bemidji, which I didn't know about, unfortunately, because I like watching him. But he had a double and maybe another hit in that game.
Wow.
So he's a good player,
Yeah.
very good player. But that was it. I mean, so they're done. But they had a great year. You said it. They had a great year. Great summer, I should say. So, no, wait and see. He'll lose some arms for next year, but we'll see what comes up with the
Yeah.
high school team.
If you need something to do, Little League has their championship game tomorrow. Is that
Tonight.
correct? Or tonight, I'm sorry.
Tonight at 4 o'clock, if there needs to be a
Thursday?
second game, it'll be played right after.
Yep.
So the Little League Championship is going on.
Those are always fun to watch.
Yeah, no, they're very competitive. Well, most of the time they're competitive games.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, I don't know who they're playing. The guy, Chad Nicola, is the one who emailed me about it to let me know, because last year I don't think they let me know.
Okay.
So I didn't know. So he said that they hadn't determined a team yet, and I didn't know if that was going to happen Tuesday or Wednesday. But I don't know who's playing in it, but they do play tonight. If you want to go down and watch the kids, because they're you can find some decent talent coming
Yeah.
up just by watching Little League. So that
That's it for summer
Yeah.
ball.
summer ball, the play, according to our great producer here, the play went off without a hitch. Or
Ron
the
not here
musical Oklahoma went off without a hitch. And
Ron?
he said it was very good.
Ron not here today?
Yeah, he's here. Why?
Oh, you said our extraordinary producer. I
Extra.
thought maybe we had
Oh,
somebody else.
Somebody else.
Just a plain old
So I guess if you want to say congratulations to them for
For Oklahoma?
for doing a
Can-
fine job with it.
Can you sing that song?
No, I can't sing it. They don't want me to sing.
But Ron was mentioning that they had a couple Hibbing people in the play. The lead
female.
female part was a young lady from Hibbing. So
Annika Gibri.
Anna
Annika Gibbery
Gibbery.
was the lead female in there.
Nice.
And Dustin Davidson did his usual outstanding job at the soundboard and the
Yeah.
light board, and
That is really a beautiful place to have a play, though. I don't think people realize it, the
yeah,
auditorium.
no, great place. And then
Yeah.
once they got the new sound speakers in and
Yeah.
the new speakers and the new board, I mean, you can't beat it.
Now, if they just work on that lighting and get it squared away.
Where have we heard that before? He's covering his eyes, ladies
Yes.
and gentlemen. So we probably need some more reminding of what we did talk about before the show came on. But that seems to be
Yep, that's it. Now we get into the doldrums of professional sports.
sports.
Oh, and don't forget the birthday party next Wednesday.
Oh, birthday parties.
The Hibbing City birthday party will be Wednesday at the city. If the weather permits, at City Hall in the lawn there. The city band
6:30.
starts playing at 6:30, and then they'll have the ceremony, and then they'll have, I believe they do have an induction every year into the City Hall of Fame. And like we said before the show, I haven't been called yet, so I know I'm not going in.
No,
So,
my phone hadn't rang either.
so congratulations to whoever is inducted. That's all, I guess. It should be a fun time. They'll have birthday cake there and probably Kool-Aid or something. So
If anything, just go down and listen to the band. I don't think that city band gets the credit it should get for how well and what's the right word?
well, how
How well
they,
they play, but how well they sound
oh yes,
together.
oh yeah, no, that's amateur musicians
Yes,
that they just come in and they want to play in the band, and we're fortunate, like the director Julie Sandsteed always says, they're just fortunate enough that Hibbing still is able to
to do it.
do
Yeah.
it, because not a lot of cities have or towns have a lot of bands.
Well, yeah, when you think of the city band, you think of 6 people.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know what they're gonna have for that, how many they're gonna have there. My wife said right now, I think they only have 2 drummers that are gonna be there, unless they happen to pick somebody up prior or before preceding it, but we'll see what happens. But the musicians in that band are very good,
Good.
skilled at the instruments that they play.
And I'll be streaming that live.
And Ron will be streaming that live at the website,
Just go to hpat.org to find out all the different ways you can see it.
hpat.org go to that to find out how many different ways you can view it. Because I do have it on Apple TV. I have an app on Apple TV, so I can see it on there. So,
Nice.
and there's other forms of streaming, so take advantage of it if you can't make it there. But if it's a nice day, last year I think they had to hold it indoors at the cafeteria at the Memorial Building. So hopefully the weather holds out and they're able to do that outside.
Or they can see each other with all the smoke we got.
Yeah, that might be an issue. But what is it, 130?
130.
Hibbing turns 130 years old on next one. Well, at least that's when the ceremony is, so I'm assuming that's the same day that actual birthday would be. So.
The inductees are John Hughes and C.A. Remington.
Okay, C.A. Remington and John Hughes are the inductees into the Hall of Fame this year.
Guess we didn't make the ballot.
No, we didn't get there.
So, just a real quick note on city news, if you want to hear, the city selected a company that's going to come in and they're going to go ahead with the 4th Avenue project, which will be, I think it's 60 market rate apartment complex. So if you're wondering where it's going to go, it's where the China Buffet, the 412, the old Brickyard, and Teskey's. That whole block is going to be demolished, and that's where the new building's going to go.
Ooh, the whole block?
The whole block, with underground parking for 120 cars.
Oh,
So
is that open just to people who live in the building, or is that?
the parking will be
Parking.
just for those living in the building,
Okay.
and they will have more public parking between the city hall and the building.
Oh,
So,
okay, all right. Well, I know one guy I talk to every day that lives in the Android. He says he wants to see that torn down because he says it's an eyesore.
The Android?
No,
No.
the buildings across the street from his view of his apartment.
The only one they're gonna lose any sleep at when those buildings come down are gonna be the pigeons.
Yes, that's exactly why he hopes it's torn down, because there's a bunch of pigeons that live in
The
there.
other night I was sitting out and I'm looking with my I'm looking and here's about 200 pigeons lined up on top of the building. I go, God, I hope this is not an Alfred Hitchcock movie because we're in trouble.
Yeah. Now they're gonna have to find a new place to go.
Yeah.
So who knows where that'll be, but
Yeah.
no, that'll be nice.
Yep.
It's too bad all the buildings have to go, but that one string of buildings from Ace Hardware down to the Flower Basket and
They're in tough shape.
yeah,
Very tough shape.
they're in tough shape. You know, the Teskey building doesn't look like it's in that tough a shape, but maybe it is.
It sustains quite a bit of damage from the fire from the brickyard.
Oh, okay.
So that was never really addressed after the fire.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's get into
Twins.
Twins. Yes, the trade deadline at 5:00. I think it's maybe Central Time or Eastern Time tonight.
How's that song go for the Twins? We're gonna lose, Twins. We're gonna lose. We got rid of all our players. Now we're really screwed. Pretty good on the cuff,
Not
huh?
bad. Not bad. Improv. See, we do have some talent on this show.
Yeah.
It might not be me, but it's
Yeah.
certainly Mike has some
I'll have to
talent.
patent that.
But the Twins made the move with Chris Paddock the other day, traded him to Detroit along with Randy Dobnik. And they got some catcher, switch hitting catcher, Enrique Jimenez,
Yeah.
back for those two guys, which that's fine because they weren't gonna bring a haul of players back. I mean,
No.
you were gonna get what you could get for those two. They
But then
cut salary.
Paddock goes out and pitches 6 innings and wins the game for
Yeah,
Detroit and
yeah.
then blasts at the Twins.
Yes, he did. And you know they got to face Detroit here coming up. I hope Paddock's on the mound for one of those games. And
Too bad he doesn't bat. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I don't know where he thinks. Obviously, Detroit's in the lead of the division, so that's the one positive thing for him.
Yep.
But where does he get off saying that they've got more here than we had in Minnesota?
Yeah.
I don't think Detroit has all that much, and I've heard pundits across the country say that they don't think Detroit is that good. They have a decent pitcher in Skubal,
Yep.
and he'll probably win the Cy Young, but I don't think Detroit is that great. I mean, Minnesota just can't seem to get its act together.
Nope.
Uh,
And now you got your star player, Carlos Correa. Who, could you kind of maybe think about trading me back to Houston?
Well, Houston obviously made a phone call to see if it was possible, and I showed these guys before the game or told them, you know, he's getting ripped so bad this year for not having a great year.
Yep.
Well, I have his career stats in front of me, and his career batting average is 275, and he's hitting 267 this year.
Yep.
So he's not far off of his career batting average. He's only had 2 300 seasons, one with the Twins in 2024 and one with Houston in 2017. So he was never going to be a 300 hitter.
No, he wasn't. But I think one of the things, if you look at what he's done in the past to what he's doing now, he doesn't drive the runs in like he used to, especially when he has guys, the guys on base in late innings. He was the guy you could count on to give you that hit, but he hasn't done that this year.
Well, and his career RBIs, he's never had over 100 RBIs in a season. In 2016, he had 96. 2017, he had 84. Now, he's only got 31 here.
Yeah.
So that is well below where he probably should be at this point. But he's still got 2 months of the season to go. I mean, all of a sudden he might knock in 30 runs, and then he's back up around where he should be.
So who do you think will be gone today?
Well, two guys are already gone. Our one guy, Joan Duran, was traded
To Philadelphia
to Philadelphia.
for 2 minor leaguers.
Yeah, yesterday. Let's see
Jeez.
here. I gotta find that.
I don't know. I don't know if they're going to go full wholesale now today or what they're going to do.
I don't know if I can find that, but they did trade Duran to the Phillies. I know listening to, I went to St. Cloud yesterday and was listening to sports talk all the way down there. They wanted this Matt Painter, I believe his name is, from the Phillies, who was a very good starting pitcher, but Philadelphia didn't want to budge on him.
Mm-hmm.
So they end up getting 2 prospects from Philly. What did I say? One was 92nd, the 92nd prospect, and the other one was in the 50s, I believe, and you didn't get enough.
No. But then again, are they giving up for the money?
Well, I know they don't have to pay Durante, but I don't know how much he was. The Paddock and Dominic trades were to cut
Right.
salary,
Yep.
so they cut it there. This trade, and this is coming from one guy who runs. John Bonus and Aaron Gleeman are Twins geeks. I mean, they call them, their show is Gleeman and the Geek. So they live this stuff. And one of them I heard said this morning that they didn't get enough.
No.
So Duran is he's a major leaguer, and he's not bad at being a major
No.
leaguer. I mean, he had his first year here, he was fantastic.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden,
Well, and then the hype started. We shut off the lights, and the fireworks are going off, and he's coming out, and I just I don't know. But what would happen? You think if they got rid of Correa? They free up $170-some million.
well, I'm torn on that one because he's still he might not be having a great offensive year, but he's still one of the better shortstops in the game.
But
And you say, well, go ahead.
I was going to say, but I think he's turned on his team. He's made it clear that I don't need to play with these guys. I can go play somewhere else.
Well, they all.
Maybe that's what's wrong with baseball. There's
Well,
no loyalty anymore. There's no Harmon Killebrews or Ken Herbecks or Kirby Pucketts.
Well, even Joe Ryan mentioned it would be exciting if he happened to be traded to a different
Yeah.
team.
But he's still here.
Well, he is, and that's one guy I would not trade because he's a cornerstone of your pitching staff. You get Lopez back, then you have 2 real top-notch starters. Now, if they could have gotten the kid from Philadelphia, you'd probably have 3, 1A, 1B, 1C. I mean, take your pick as to who might be the best. And then Bailey Overs
Obasta?
is serviceable as a 4 or 5 starter. So
Well, I said I think in that trade, Philadelphia, they should have gotten at least a 3 or 4 pitcher that could come in and be the 3 or 4 pitcher for the Twins.
oh, I agree. Let me see. Okay, here, I finally found it. So they got Eduardo Tate and Mick Abel. Now, I want to find out what numbers they were as far. And one's a starting pitcher, I believe. I think Abel is a starting pitcher, but he was like the 92nd overrated prospect out of 100. Well, that's not good.
Not overrated, rated.
Yeah, he was rated.
Okay.
Yeah, well, overrated might be.
He may be overrated now that the Twins have him.
Abel, number 92 prospect, and Tate is a catcher, the number 56 prospect. For Duran, you should have got something lower than a number. You should have got at least a 20. I don't know if Philadelphia has that. Maybe they don't have anybody in the top 20 as far as a prospect other than the Painter kid. But the Twins make I think they make the dumbest deals, and I'm sorry to use that word, but
They need new owners.
well,
They need new direction. They need to get rid of their pitching coach, the hitting coach. And I hate to say it, but their manager needs to go too. Rocky, you're in the 12th round and you're getting knocked out.
yeah, well, I'm starting to get in line with you on that because it's just how does Paddock go from one team to another, pitch 6 innings, give up 1 run
Yeah,
when he couldn't even get anybody on Colorado out
right.
and gave up 5 runs in like 2 innings. Then he had a nice start against the Dodgers. I'll give him that. He had a nice start, but that's when he knew he was probably getting traded, so
Right.
he probably decided to try.
Throw in the towel.
But yeah, I don't know. The pitching coach should go Because look, I think even like we talked about, Emilio Pagan, I think is pitching pretty decent for Cincinnati. So what's the difference?
You know, to me, the problem I see is that when you watch the Twins, there's no identity with the Twins anymore. I think the culture has gone to, well, yeah, we're a mediocre team, but you know, we'll try. You know, you can't do that.
No, you have to, yeah. And, you know, they make the playoffs, but win a series, lose to Houston, but then they cut payroll the next year.
Right.
They don't give their fans any reason for hope.
Yeah.
So whatever happens today.
See what happens today. I see the young kid from Arizona, though, went to Seattle this morning, the home run king.
Okay.
So,
And it looks like here, what I saw here is that even the Cleveland Guardians traded one of their top pitchers.
to the Twins?
No, not to the Twins, but
The other thing, too, while you're looking
even
that up,
Cleveland, I just saw it, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to find
I was
it
going to say,
again.
while you're looking that up, is it a good move for a team to trade a pitcher to the team that's leading their division?
No.
So that's what the Twins did.
Yes.
So,
Well, Guardians follow Bieber. Justin Bieber?
really, you back in the game?
No, Bieber. Well, I know who the guy is. I know it's not Justin Bieber. But they said, well, Guardians follow Bieber deal by trading Kwan. Stephen Kwan was a very good outfielder.
Yeah.
Well, they trade him too. So even the Guardians are starting to sell off players. So, and Eugenio Suarez did get traded to the Mariners. Tyler Rogers and Ryan Helsley went to the Mets, and
And Ryler and his brother, Tyler's brother, went somewhere,
yeah,
too.
Bieber went again to the Blue Jays, and I could put up a trade tracker, but
Yeah.
we're almost running out of time. So
Hey, go Vikes. Here's the
no
hype.
way, yeah, we'll see. We'll talk about them more when they start playing. So for Mike Egan, I'm Gary Gimbetti. We'll see you again on Home Team Advantage.
For over 25 years, U.S. Bank, located at 211 East Howard Street in Hibbing, Minnesota, has provided office and studio space for Hibbing Public Access Television. We are thankful for their ongoing support. Up North Lettering specializes in embroidery and heat vinyl press applications, along with patches and letter jackets. For more information, call them at 218-966-7850. HPAT would like to thank them for their donation and support. Napa Auto Parts, located at 2611 East Beltline here in Hibbing, has what you and your vehicles need to get up and go. Call them at 218-263-3631 or visit napaonline.com. HPAT thanks them for their support.